Hey everyone, I'm here, and today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I get a lot of comments about, mainly because of where I work professionally and my overall professional experience. I graduated in 2014, and since then I've literally always had a job. I'm praising God that has always been the case, but I've never really had too much of an issue in keeping a job, and I've actually transitioned between 3 different jobs, and because of that, a lot of people always ask, well, what do you put in your resume? Like, what is the secret? And to be honest, there really is no secret, but I do want to share with you some of the 5 tips that I use whenever I'm building out my resume and applying for a new job. Right, so tip number 1, make sure you cater your resume to the job that you're applying for. All right, so when you are applying for a job, you have to make sure that your resume literally is catered to that job. Unfortunately, we live in a society where when you go to school, they tell you to have this like one grandiose, excellent resume, but in reality, every job and every recruiter is looking for that ideal person for that job. So what can you do to stand out? Make sure that your resume, it just exemplifies what that person for that ideal role would look like, you know? Tip number 2, have more than one base resume. Although there is an idea that you should cater and you should have like this one ideal resume, you should make sure that you have a few. You have a few that you can kind of interchange, you know, something that's already sort of polished so that you just can kind of plug in certain skills or transition certain names so that people can kind of understand how you relate to that role. You can't just have one resume and trying to interchange it over and over again. You kind of want to have a basis of maybe 2 to 3. I personally have about 3 that I kind of interchange, and it's just for specific sectors within communication, especially when it comes to my profession. Tip number 3, make sure that people review your resume, okay? Do not be afraid of people reviewing your resume. I think that a lot of times we get overwhelmed and we don't want people to criticize us, but you want people to review your resume, especially when it comes to people who are already within the profession. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think that sometimes we get so scared and we get so cornered and we just look at our resumes to ourselves and we don't even see some of the errors, you know. But having people, especially within the profession that you're applying for, looking at your resume, they can give you some really great pointers, you know. And you don't want to, you know, that applying for a job takes a lot of time. So the last thing you want to do is waste your time by a messed up resume, which leads me into tip number 4. Make sure that it's an easy to read format. Sometimes people, I get it, you want to squeeze everything into a resume, but make sure that it's easy to read. You know, sometimes a recruiter is just eyeballing the resume. And if they are, you want to make sure that you're clear and you want to make sure that you are highlighting the big points and you're not doing too much, you know, like don't have one font and another font sort of mixed together. The sizing can change when it comes to like your name and everything else, but my tip is make sure that it's a consistent format, because honestly, I know it seems like something that is clearly like common sense, but sometimes it's not for some people. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So my last tip number 5, has to do with knowing your resume. Although you understand what you do, you need to be able to speak to each resume that you kind of create, because you never know when that call is going to happen, and you need to fully understand like how you are vested within each as well, you know. Sometimes I could be talking to someone and I can ask them about the work that they do, and I look at their resume and the story that they're telling me is totally different than what they have within the resume. So you need to be able to know and understand your resume, understand your skills, and be able to speak to those skills. Only you know about your experience. So don't minimize that, you know, talk yourself up. You're almost like, when you're applying for a job, it's almost like a sales pitch. And the first thing that they see within that sales pitch is sort of that blurb, and that blurb is your resume. So make it stand out. Those are a few of my tips. I'm sure that other people may have a lot. I'm just telling you the ones that kind of work for me. I'm not saying that I'm the expert or whatever, but so far it's worked for me. I've had 3 different jobs and it's And it's not because I was unsuccessful at the other, but I was just kind of looking for new opportunities. And these steps kind of really helped me out. If you have any questions, be sure to comment below. If you have any other additional videos or anything else that you would like to know about my profession and what I do and where I work, please let me know, comment below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. All right, peace.